Well, I know this is going to come as a complete shocker for everybody watching and listening, but President Trump, our president who's putting America first, has just proven all of the lion-ass degenerate Democrats, all of the chief economists, all of the experts, all of the essentially PhD worthless academics, nobody knows this better than me, he's proven them all wrong. President Trump is ushering in a golden age of prosperity, which means more jobs, more money, more domestic manufacturing, and more opportunity for all Americans. In today's groundbreaking, live breaking news, incredible economic report that just came out, U.S. exports grew by 8.8%, while imports were down. He's putting America first. And now he's even broken the ceiling of all of the U.S. GDP expectations, where it was expected that there would be a 3.3% perhaps growth in Q3. He completely shattered all expectations, and it surged to plus 4.3%. My fellow Americans, this is the strongest economic consumer period we've seen in over 2 years, and he did it in less than 12 months. This is why President Trump is a go-getter, is somebody who enacts action. And remember, when all the ridiculous Hippocrat Democrat experts were trying to fearmonger Americans, were spewing lies all over all their woke network apparatus. Remember this?
Under his reckless leadership is that costs aren't going down in America. They're going up. Inflation is going up. The stock market is going down. Consumer confidence is going down. And the retirement security of the American people is going down. This is not Liberation Day in America. It's Recession Day, because Donald Trump's reckless policies are driving us toward a painful recession.
And as usual, Trump was right. And you know what? A lot of people have a problem with this announcement that he just made a few moments ago, literally a few moments ago as of this recording. He posted this, the Trump rule. The financial news today was great. GDP up 4.2% as opposed to the predicted 2.5%. And this despite the downward pressure of the recent Democrat shutdown. He's absolutely right about that. But in the modern market, we have good news. The market stays even or goes down because Wall Street heads are wired differently than they used to be. In the old days, when there was good news, the market went up. Nowadays, when there's good news, the market goes down because everybody thinks that interest rates will be immediately lifted to take care of quote unquote potential inflation. That means that essentially we can never have a great market again. Those markets from the time when our nation was building up and becoming great. Strong markets, even phenomenal markets, don't cause inflation. Stupidity does. I want my new Fed chairman to lower interest rates if the market is doing well, not destroy the market for no reason whatsoever. I want to have a market the likes of which we haven't had in many decades, a market that goes up on good news, down on bad news, the way it should be, the way it was. God, there's not an untrue word here, y'all. Inflation will take care of itself, and if it doesn't, we can always raise rates at the appropriate time. But the appropriate time is not to kill rallies, which could lift our nation by 10, 15, and even 20 GDP points in a year, and maybe even more than that. A nation can never be economically great if eggheads are allowed to do everything within their power to destroy the upward slope. We are going to be encouraging the good market to get better rather than make it impossible for it to do so. We are going to see numbers that are far more natural and far better than they have ever been before. We're going to make America great again. The United States should be rewarded for success, not brought down by it. Anybody that disagrees with me will never be the Fed chairman. Some people might think that that is, whoa, he's going a little bit far above and beyond his power scope, but I completely am on board. This is what I voted 3 times for. He's been right about literally, essentially everything. He's acquiesced on the Epstein files, which is a big, gigantic nothing burger. Everything that he said was going to happen, the golden age, economic growth, geopolitical standing, our orientation of credibility across the globe, peace deals, economic, both domestic and foreign. Everything he said, gas, drill, baby, drill. Everything he said. He wants to end the filibuster so we can actually enact everything that we voted for, the America First agenda, which Obama did in 2013 and many other people have done prior. They can always bring it back. But we've got these complete yellow, scared, ballsless pussies. I just have to say that, excuse my language, in the GOP that don't want to do anything. These people in Indiana, when they could have redistricted and added more seats to the House. I mean, it's preposterous. Thune, Johnson, Scalia, they have no backbone, this GOP. They have no balls. They're not listening to Trump. If they just listen to Trump, as J.D. Vance has purported, who I think is going to be the 48th president of the United States, God willing, we could get everything. We could get voter ID. We could stop these evil vultures who have destroyed our country for 12 of the last 16 years. We could stop them for good. So I give him complete carte blanche. I give him a complete green light to save our country. This man deserves a statue. He deserves a monument on Mount Rushmore. He has done everything that he said he was going to promise. Everything he promised in the campaign, he has done. And it's only going to get better. This is only the first year, for crying out loud. The guy has done more in 12 months than Vegetable and Chief Biden did in his entire abysmal 4 years. Not only that, my fellow Americans, there's also this.
And good news for your wallet this holiday season. Gas prices have hit their lowest level in 4 years, according to a recent report from AAA. The average price for a regular gallon right here is $2.86. Last year, though, the national average was around $3.04. Right now, 11 states are below the national average, with experts predicting 2026 will bring another year of declining prices.
I would love to hear where you're joining me from, first of all, and then also in the comments down below, let me know what gas is per gallon. So for example, if you're in Columbus, Ohio, put Columbus, Ohio in the comments, and then next to it, put $2.89 or whatever the price per gallon is. I would love to hear from you. Also, the betting markets now have just released their reports. Kalshi, which is kind of like Polymarket, which aggregates data from all sorts of sources and people, have essentially put out this report saying that this is the lowest percentage. The odds of a recession have reached an all-time low. This is all-time of 25%. Another thing the Democrats lied about, spreading fear, vitriol, division, and hate because they hate Donald Trump every single day. Wrong. They were wrong about tariffs. They were wrong about peace. They were wrong about Iran. They were wrong about the economy. They were wrong about incentivizing manufacturing. They were wrong about domestic. They're wrong about everything. Now, I live in California. I wish I could say that we are reaping the benefits of Trump policies, America First policies, an actual politician. I don't even call Trump a politician, but just somebody who he's revolutionized the political spectrum, but just somebody who cares about America. I wish I could say that California has reaped those benefits, but we're dealing with an absolute monster in Gavin Newsom. And in my next segment here, we're going to cover something that is such a calamity in our state, a national travesty, really. The issuing of commercial driver licenses to illegal migrants who have been let into our country, let into our borders by this Democrat Party that I truly believe with every fiber of my being hates America with every fiber of their bone. They only want to retain power. They discovered a long time ago they can't win elections anymore from actual American citizens. So what do? They imported their voters. Well, check this out. In this latest report, ICE has arrested over 100 illegal migrants who were issued California commercial driver licenses. Over 100. Let's not forget what happened to that poor coach in Southern California who was mauled by a truck driver who didn't understand English, who didn't pass the test, like 15 times. Never mind the guy in Florida. This keeps happening. There's countless videos out there. These are people driving 8-ton killing machines who can't understand American United States road signage. They can't speak the language. They can't even read what's on traffic signs, for crying out loud. And what did Newsom do? He issued them commercial driver licenses. He promised them that. He promised them jobs. He promised them free health care. He promised them all of these things that should be going to law-abiding actual American citizens in exchange for their vote. This is such a travesty. It's such a national travesty. This should be the biggest news. I mean, over everywhere. And this is the guy they want to run for president in 2028. This is the guy who has the highest percentage. I mean, it's a really bad crop. You got AOC, Kamala, Pete Buttigieg or Butt Plug, whatever the hell his name is. Newsom's in the front. He wants to make America California. This guy has besieged, decayed the greatest state in our union, the most plentiful, lush, beautiful, expansive, scenic, varietal state, my home state, California. He's decayed it. Destroyed it. This is the guy they want to run for president. Can you believe this? Nobody's talking about this. Here is Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy talking about this very problem in no uncertain terms. Watch.
Rules that are set up to make sure our roads are safe. And so if you can't speak English, if you haven't gone through the proper training courses, you shouldn't be behind the wheel of a big rig. These are 80,000-pound vehicles that can be incredibly dangerous when things go wrong. The problem is that you had Joe Biden that let tens of millions of people into the country, and then you have liberal governors who said, well, they got to work, so let's give them commercial driver's licenses and put them on the American roads, endangering the safety of the American people.
I mean, if you put side by side outcomes, results, if you're a results-driven individual, which I don't know anybody who incentives drive all human behavior, and incentives are governed by outcomes and results that are projected to occur based on those actions and those incentives. There isn't a business, there isn't a city, there isn't a state, there isn't an institution that can succeed without understanding that very simple concept. So if you put back to back the results of Trump, everything I just issued about the economy, all the peace deals he's made, I mean, closing the border, which is absolutely monumental with a capital M, versus the results and outcomes and what the Democrats have produced, this is like basic, fundamental. You don't even have to be a smart individual, like mediocre mental capacity to understand the dichotomy, the difference between what Trump has done for America and what the Democrats have done. This is like, it's not even simple math. It's sub-basic, sub-mental math. It's that easy. So they don't care that they let in millions and millions of terrorists, rapists, murderers, etc. They don't care that Americans are being besieged every single day. They don't care that the roads are safe or not for Americans to travel, to go visit their family during these holiday seasons. They don't care about that. What they do care about, though, is their voter base. Here's another perfect example. And who's their voter base? It's criminals. It's illegals. It's the worst of the worst because it guarantees them a spot. You got to understand this, America. They don't want to compete in the free market because they know they're going to fail because they're losers. These are the worst people in the Democrat Party. They are swine upon swine upon swine, compounded. Here's one of the perfect embodiments. Representative LaMonica McIver, who is a walking abomination. This is the same woman who assaulted ICE agents and then has the audacity to return to the same facility and then gets interviewed by woke media saying, I'm traumatized, but I'm going to be brave. Watch this.
but at the same time, it was important for me to be here. And what we saw inside was horrible. We had an opportunity to speak to detainees, over 20 of them, about their conditions, how they talked about they don't get adequate food, the food is spoiled, it's stale, they don't get enough, they do not have access to health care. Gentleman talked about how he needed access to mental health care, no access, women, no access to OBGYN or, feminine products. I mean, over and over again, we've heard from all of them in there about how horrible the conditions are and how they're just under so much stress because they do not know what is going on. Many of them picked up at asylum hearings, immigration court, many of them on approved student visas, work visas, and literally they are incarcerated in this detention center. So it just was actually, they confirmed what we already know, what is happening with immigration in this country, but specifically it confirmed of just how bad it is and how this facility really should be closed. My colleagues and I have already sent a letter to oversight, to judiciary, asking them to do a full investigation of this facility and shut this facility down. And just really quick, we know you're currently facing ongoing charges. You described coming here traumatic, but is any part of you concerned that you could face retaliation for being here? Oh, I'm 100% certain. This is the main priority for this administration.
Devote every ounce of energy to fighting for criminals. Meanwhile, she's at a detention center fighting for criminals, making sure they get mental health care and genital mutilation surgery, while you and I need to go to work every single day, while you and I need to give our blood, sweat, and tears to this country, pay our taxes, abide by the law. We get nothing. We get nothing for actually being upstanding citizens. This doesn't make any sense. We've got a midterm coming up. I'm going to work harder than I've ever worked, I think, in my entire life, because we need to expose these guys. But I need your help. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for donations. I'm not asking for anything. Just share this with everybody you know, especially the people who disagree with you. Look at the facts. They're not getting any context. I'm trying to provide context, and I'm going to get better and better and better with your help. Tap the thumbs up. Share this with everybody. Can't wait to hear from you. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. This one's a really important one I'm pointing to right now. You got to watch that next. Tap my face right here to subscribe. It's free, doesn't cost you a thing. And as always, may God bless you, and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.